So I got to a point in my life where, I wanted to grow, I wanted to do something different, something that drove me a little bit more, and I decided that HR was the thing for me. So the way that I got to where I'm at today is by networking, using the resources in the local community, joining different groups, using LinkedIn a lot to connect with people, as well as follow companies that I had interest in, things that I had interest in, such as topics. So that's how I got to where I was today, and I was able to grow a little bit more. So we're going to start talking about LinkedIn. That's what we're going to focus on this morning. And one of the things is things that we're going to go over. And the first question that I have for you is, what is your brand? Everybody should have a personal brand, as well as every company, every business owner should have a brand. So we're going to take an overview of LinkedIn profile on a personal brand level, as well as a company business level, as well as talk about how do we connect with people? How do we make those meaningful connections? Do we just connect with anybody just to connect, or are we going to make meaningful connections? How do we, once we receive those wonderful messages on LinkedIn, how do we respond to them? Should we respond to them? Should we ignore them? How often should we talk about the activities too on LinkedIn, such as how often are we on LinkedIn? Should we be checking our LinkedIn every day? Should we be on it a couple times a day or what so forth? And I do apologize. It seems like I got kicked out of Apple TV, but I will keep on walking us through. Can I have some technical assistance, please? Also, how do we look at job searches? What are companies doing when they post jobs? How do businesses get?
This is it, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it over here.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna get a clip where you just.
That would be great. Thank you. How about with my LinkedIn?
I'll put it up for you.
Okay. First question was, what is your brand? We should all have a brand. As a professional, as a business owner, companies have a company brand. How do we connect with people? Should we be making meaningful connections on LinkedIn, or should we just connect with any random person just to connect? Also, we're going to be, and I'm going to be going over the LinkedIn, we're just having a little bit of technical difficulty. Just giving you a brief, we're going to be talking about, how important networking is, as well as our activities on LinkedIn, and how do, once we receive those messages or send out messages, how should we reply, and keep that going. And also, anything pertaining to, if we're trying to look for a job, or we're a business owner posting a job because we want to hire someone. So we'll be talking about that. And then we just went over introductions briefly. So welcome to the Hub. What brings you in today? What is your name? What was the first thing that you noticed when you walked into the Hub for the first time? And what would you like to get out of the workshop?
My name is Bushra, and just going back into the workforce and to learn all new technology.
Great.
So, and what I want to say, so many women.
I know, right?
I'm like, wow.
power.
Woman power. Women are dominating the 21st century. That's good. Well, welcome. Do you have LinkedIn on your phone already installed by any chance? Because it will be, if you want to take a minute or two to download it.
Sure.
Do you use LinkedIn currently?
I did and then I deleted it.
Okay.
But I can, I don't even have that account anymore.
And I do apologize for the technical.
What's the name of it?
It's under workshops. Right there. And then,
Great.
yeah.
Alright, so.
Oh, okay.
Like you want to highlight,
Yeah.
there's no highlight, just.
Yeah. So next. And then I just briefly introduced myself. I'm an HR at a point in my life where I wanted to do something different, something that was more meaningful to me, and I'm very passionate about what I do and, everything that pertains to HR. And I just briefly told them that, the way that I got to where I'm at today was just, networking. I use LinkedIn a lot, join different groups around in the area, networking, and just, connecting with the right people and just going to workshops like, this one and everything. So, okay. So we got over that. So one of my favorite quotes is by Abraham Lincoln, and the quote is, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." So we can't just wait around for things to happen, right? We gotta be a little bit strategic with ourselves and get outside of our comfort zone. Sometimes it's easy to just, do the weekly routine, the daily routine, but it's also important for us to get outside of our comfort zone and start thinking about, what do I want to accomplish, this year, what I want to accomplish in 3 years, where do I see myself, and just, creating our future, right? And I think that's very important. So this is what we're going to discuss about LinkedIn. Do you want to put my LinkedIn? You said I got to toggle around it. Could I switch it up here, or?
You have to do it.
I have to go there?
Yeah. Something's wrong with the connection because it keeps coming off.
That's fine, then what I'll do is I'll just, yeah.
Or we can look at your LinkedIn or.
Yeah, but the thing is that I wanted to go through all the little sections.
Okay.
So, I'll.
Yeah, just go over there.
Okay. So let me see here. So I use LinkedIn, that is called the Gold Premium, just because I'm able, for the company that I work for, I can light. So that's why you will see. Okay, so if you guys can see the screen here, this is the home page of LinkedIn, right? And then you will see my profile. It is extremely important to have a good picture on your LinkedIn. Does everybody have a LinkedIn account in the room? Yeah? Okay, good. That's very important because, everybody looks at that. Keep in mind that with LinkedIn, it is a business platform, right? So be very cautious about posting personal things on LinkedIn. This is strictly for networking at a professional level. Also, the kind of picture that you post is very important. I would suggest just doing a headshot, just like the one that I have here. It doesn't have to be with a suit or what so forth. It just has to be, looks professional, because they will look at that. So here you see who's viewed my profile, 110 people. Who's viewed my post? I posted a recent activity of, the event for today. My saved articles, everything that I've posted about, right, or that I look into, these are my recent self-help, culture, careers, job interviews, human resources. And then my groups. It's very important for you guys to connect with groups on LinkedIn, because by connecting to groups on LinkedIn, you will be able to start seeing content, helpful information that is pertaining specifically to your interests and what represents, what you're trying to do. So I'm an HR manager, so I'm all about, HR, benefits, self-help, careers, job interviews, everything. So as you can see here, I am a member of, certain groups here. A lot of these groups, they post events, and those events are very helpful if you attend. And then these are the hashtags that I follow, right? Then here, if you wanted to start sharing a post, and then let's look at my profile more in depth. So here you have my name. I have my master's in HR. If you have any certifications or anything like that, you want to list it on your name. The area where you're located. This is very important about your brand, right? This summary here, the important thing to put is keywords, right? It's important for keyword search. So for example, if you're looking for a job, if that's the situation, what we do in HR, we search for keywords. So I'm here, I have HR manager, and then everything, all my experience, or just, keyword search. So if anybody pulls up HR manager that has experience in compensation, onboarding, employee relations, I will be pulled up into that search. So the keyword search is also very important, just as well as for business owners to use keyword search when they're posting certain contents on LinkedIn. Here you see the recent company that I'm currently working at. Education, you can see that I have over 500 connections. And then if you go down, again, who's viewed my profile. If I wanted to give career advice, I can turn this on. If I were looking for a job, I can turn this on. So if you're currently in a place where you're looking for a job, I would definitely turn that on. Now, mind you that when they reach out to you, companies or recruiters, they will contact you if you have the skill set and what they're looking for, even if this is turned off. But you will come up to the top of the list if this feature is turned on. You can put in here salary insights. I really don't recommend you to highlight this, because what happens is you're holding yourself to a certain constraint. So I would just leave that link. And then you can see here my recent activity, right? Or you can see here that I've been posting. And then you want to have, there's different sections that you can have in your profile. Your background, from work experience, education, licensing, certifications, volunteer experience, skills, accomplishment, additional information, supported languages. Here with experience, you can list your employers. You can, a lot of people, then I think there's really no right or wrong. They'll put 2 or 3 bullet points, right? Be general, because sometimes when you play something on that can be taken, viewed like, oh, well, why are they omitting this?
So, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Your LinkedIn experience has to look just like your resume?
That your LinkedIn is your resume. That is your personal brand.
Mine is like a watered down version of my resume.
Well, it can be very general. Like, how watered down is it?
Like you said, like I only have like 2 to 3 bullet points, whereas like my resume is like really like specific.
Well, that's totally fine, and we'll go over a resume in a little bit. It can just be 2 or 3 bullet points, but whatever you put on LinkedIn, don't make it as specific. Like, I can put, like, for example here, I've been doing HR consulting, right? Because in addition to having a full-time job, I've helped business owners business owners starting their companies. I've assisted them with HR, matters that they needed me to help them with. So I made it very general, right? I don't have any bullet points, but because I don't really, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really, with my kind of positions, it's more like, if you're an HR manager, they should really kind of know what I do. Now, depending also on your position and what industry and what you're trying to target, would determine if you should be more a little bit specific. Like, for example, Joel's LinkedIn, he's a little bit more specific, and that's great because of the type of, type of line of industry that he's in. Does that make sense?
So I should be more specific?
You already put in, like, we can look at yours. See, he has a really good, what does he do? Right to the point, and then keyword searches, digital marketer, helping business grow. So if somebody were to search, oh, I want somebody that can help my business grow, then he will come up. I need somebody that is good with Google AdWords, he will come up, right? Because it's in his headline, and that's who he is. I mean, really, yes?
I'm so sorry. So, when you as an HR manager are looking for the position, are you looking for certain words in the algorithm?
Exactly. That's what it boils down to. So your headline right here, that is essential. You don't have to make it 2 paragraphs. You need to come up with a headline that's going to be your brand, right? Your professional brand.
Okay, I have a question.
Where is that? Yeah,
Huh? This is when you go, I'll show you on mine, but it's right here when you edit the profile. I will go back. So let's activities, and look, he is specific, right? Unlike me, all I put is the name of the business or whatever. It's a general idea of what he is doing or what he's currently working on.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yeah.
What would you advise to those people that are either just starting off, out of, whatever, and don't necessarily have a degree, or people that are in an industry and want to switch to a different industry?
Okay.
How do you, because like you said,
I've been in that position. So when I was in the banking industry, and I'm like, you know what? I was finishing my bachelor's in business administration and marketing, so I had taken like an HR class or 2, and that's where I became more passionate about it, and just experience different things in the workplace and what. I was in HR for 9 years. I was just in banking. I worked myself up the ladder in the banking industry. Started way down, all the way to branch manager. But what happened? Well, I started applying. I got turned down so many times. And that's totally fine. You're not going to find, but there's a way to get around that. So I said to myself, started thinking outside the box, just talking to different people that I know, and I'm like, what can I do to get my foot in the door to get an HR job? There has to be something, because this is what I really want to do, and I'm gonna try and go around, like find a solution. So what I did was networking. If you're into HR, I joined the HR association, right? And I started going to those meetings, and then I started meeting people and asking them questions and inquiring and telling them of my interests. People that don't have the experience or coming out of school, I suggest the same thing. Networking, joining local groups, local associations, it's all about, just trying, and then slowly, also there's certain skills that are transferable. So I manage people. Managing people, there's an HR aspect to it, right? So that's a transferable skill. So I put that in my resume. So my first job, when I made the change from the banking industry and my career change, I worked for a year for a staffing company. So, sometimes you won't be able to get, well, I want to go into HR, I'm going to become an HR manager. No, it's not going to work like that either. But it's all about networking and making those meaningful connections on LinkedIn, following those groups, right? Searching resources, reading articles, content. So that's what I would suggest.
So you didn't go back to school right away? Like as soon as you found out you wanted to do human resources, you didn't go to school, you just used like your resources?
Well, I was just finishing. I was actually working on my bachelor's and I had not completed. I completed my bachelor's a year in HR. Time that I want, it's all about, gaining the experience and networking with those people, making those connections with those people and showing interest. Like for example, if you want to learn about digital marketing or marketing or what so forth, hey, let me do a little bit of research. Oh, I just noticed on Instagram or on LinkedIn that this place called The Hub, and I'm just saying an example, it can just be anything that you're looking, that just opened up. Well, maybe I should start going to The Hub and taking, meeting a couple of people that are into that, because maybe that person that goes to one of those networking events, maybe they're looking for somebody that's looking to learn and get their foot in the door, or hey, I want to learn a little bit about, I want to be an attorney, but I'm just finishing school. Well, there's a local matter of, connecting and networking. Any other questions about that? No? Okay. So, going down to he has his education, licenses, volunteer, skills and endorsement recommendation, accomplishments include language interests. So that's a pretty good LinkedIn profile. So going down, you can see here, right? Recommendation, and this is a recommendation she gave me. I would also suggest that you give a recommendation, because sometimes when we try and give and help others out, it will reciprocate back to us. The organizations that I'm part of, I joined the local HR association for Palm Beach County, and now that I'm working in Deerfield, I'm part of the Broward County also, and the National Society of Human Resource. My interests, very important. These are my interests. So by you selecting what you're interested in, you start following companies that you're interested in. And then, hold on 1 second. I have a more. Any questions on this so far? To update, so this is your LinkedIn URL. You can place this on your resume. LinkedIn will just give you a random one. So anytime somebody searches Janelle Castillo, it will highlight like on Google or what so forth, and this is what will come up, right? So I would definitely edit your URL because that is your public profile. And that way you'll be able to easily be found with keyword searches and by name. The other thing is, hold on 1 second. Does everybody have their LinkedIn pulled up? You have a LinkedIn?
Yeah, but
I can help you update yours later. Okay. The other thing is posts and activities. So if you go here, with LinkedIn, you have the ability to start something that maybe you found and that you want to share with others. That way you will become more accessible, and people will be able to find you more. In, let's say psychology, right? You find an article in psychology, and you can just write, hey, you know, anything at all. Like, hey, today was a day that I went to this workshop, and this is what I learned. And you just do 2 or 3 bullet points. It doesn't have to be like a page, 2 pages. You can go here, that I'm going to start doing more of. And then you can publish them there. Hold on 1 second. Okay. The other thing was, you can see here, let's talk about, hold on. So if I want to go to my profile, to update it, you go here, and then this is how you update, the headline, and everything else. See here in the summary? They will know I'm a dedicated HR, and then if you don't want to upload your resume or your portfolio or share a link with your portfolio videos and everything, you can do it here. Now, if you're going to load up a video, sometimes now they're doing those video interviews. I would be very careful about, your, like, what you say and everything. Because, again, this is a professional platform to use.
And what should you say?
Hi, my name is so-and-so. I have, this many years of experience working in this. Right now, if you're looking for an opportunity, I'm looking for an opportunity to use, this type of experience, and these are my skill set, and this is why I would be good for your company. Very short and sweet, right? Your brand should just be, honestly, you're marketing yourself. It's like a commercial. So if you're looking for jobs, LinkedIn, it's awesome. I cannot tell you, the job that I currently have was through LinkedIn, that they had, it on there. Now let's talk about messages, right? So we can send out messages, make sure they're professional, right? If you want to talk something with a friend or something on a personal level, use another social media platform. But with this one, people are going to reach out. They're going to do their search, word search, and you're going to come up, and they're going to message you. It doesn't matter if I would recommend for you to always reply to them. Always, because it's a good way to connect with people, and that way if another opportunity later down the road, you're in a place where then it all depends on that too. But just a simple reply. I've been reached out a lot for job opportunities. Hey, I really appreciate you considering me. However, I'm currently happy where I'm at, but I will, and I do tell them this. I would share this opportunity with maybe somebody that has this type of experience that you're looking for, or thank you for considering. Short and sweet. It doesn't have to be, hey, but just reply, because it's important to reply in a, nice professional way, and acknowledge the person, right? This person just requested me. I know if they work for Gallagher HR, their benefits company, so I'm going to go ahead and accept it, even though I don't know the person. But then you can also see who they're, how are they, 3 other connections that are similar, that are similar to the connections he has that I have. So I'm going to go ahead and accept it.
So what about random invitations?
Random invitations.
People that have nothing to do with what you do, to accept them anyway.
Like, for example?
I'm trying to get a quality assurance job, and I'm getting people from that are from construction or something random.
Okay, I would be connection, then maybe, and then they can reply back. Because I have to admit, sometimes people will to make like disrespectful comments to me on LinkedIn. So, and that does happen. So, just, and because it was just, and then they started just making some unprofessional disrespect. And so to top this off, let me go back here. So now, I also follow certain companies, as I mentioned. So for example, I would follow companies that might be one of the top companies to work for in the area that you may be on your wish list, and we'll get to that. So I'm going to pull up the company that I work for so you can see how businesses use, this is their company brand, their business brand, right? They go over if it's public or, privately held, when it was funded, and what their specialties are, and they put that here too. Hold on a minute. Let's pull up the hub, because I know that and then you can start following the company, right? So one of the companies, my dream company that I wanted to work for a couple years ago, they're a HR software company, and they're a Fortune 100 company to work for. They're number 8, and if you guys I'll go over the Fortune 100 list. It's Ultimate Software. So what I did was I started following them, and they posted like their jobs. I mean, it's a bigger software company, but and I started I'm following them. So anytime, they have any updates or anything, it'll feed to my feed, and then I can see it. If they have jobs, picture yourself, and then you can see like the type of jobs that I might be, qualified for. That doesn't mean that 100%, but that's the way that LinkedIn is used too. And the type of hashtags that they use. Keyword search, very important. And this is how they develop their, they talk about live. And it specifically tells you. See, they even have their logo here. I like that. About, if they had any jobs, they would post it here. Insights and activities. So definitely start following those type of companies that you're trying to get your foot in the door. Very nice company. You see, keyword searches. Does anybody have any questions about LinkedIn? Something that I haven't touched on that you might want to know more about? No?
Did you mention before that you had do you pay for your membership or subscription service or something like that?
For
the LinkedIn.
LinkedIn is free, personal.
Oh.
Yeah, it's definitely free. This, as a HR person, if we need to post a job, I'm able to do that through LinkedIn. So business owners can post jobs. It's called Recruiter Lite, and it's on LinkedIn.
So let's say you're interested in a job, you would basically just apply through LinkedIn, and that's it, and then they would basically contact you.
Yeah.
There.
So you can see, right? Robert Half is a staffing company. But let's say, Image Skincare is looking for a supply chain manager. You go on here, and then you can see they post a job description and everything. And then to apply, easy apply. Most of the time they have the easy apply. And what will happen is, you apply easily. You don't even have to, you have the option to attach your resume or not, but your LinkedIn profile is your resume. So when you easy apply, it takes the information from LinkedIn, and I'll show you how to make it as a resume, and that's how they apply. So that's why it's important that your LinkedIn is as updated as possible.
So to stand out, do you send like a cover letter? What else can you do to like?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna get, but definitely a cover letter and a resume. I would definitely attach it. And then, you know, it tells you what they're doing. Supply chain manager. Okay. Any other questions?
So besides when you apply through the company website, like if you didn't apply to LinkedIn, can you give your LinkedIn link into the it's at the bottom of their algorithm that you fill out?
LinkedIn URL, and then you resume, and if depending on the company's website, if it gives you the option to add pay. So, any further questions on LinkedIn? No? Any comments? No? Okay. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna continue with resume and cover letters and also interviewing. So I'm gonna. You said that I can pull it up here, Joel?
What's that?
My
PowerPoint, yeah. The PO at the bottom.
Huh?
Right? The PowerPoint you have open?
I have it open.
Yeah. Look, if you see the P at the little icon, just click on it again.
Okay. Hold on. There we go. Very nice. Okay. So, okay, there we go. So, going back, connecting with people, we went over that, posting jobs. So I'm gonna, hold on, pull it up. Okay, so the next thing is resume and cover letter. So there's a lot of things that we have to consider when we're creating a resume and cover letter. So once you have created your resume, then I would suggest for you to go on LinkedIn and update your LinkedIn. So what are some of the things that we want to have in our resume? Important thing is name. Some people put their addresses, others don't. I personally do not put my address. I just have URL. That's all I have. Why should I not, why don't I put my address? Really, because if I live in West Palm and I'm willing to drive to Deerfield, I actually live in 15 minutes. So,
really?
I mean, that's just, not everybody's like that, but to me it's like, why do you need my address? My address, I have it on my employment application. That's where you should have it, your employment application. And this is my career, and I mean, don't place it like that, and this is what I'm going to bring to your company, and I'll show you what my brand statement is. The other thing is your work experience. List your current job, 2, no more than 7 years back. Some people go way back to 15 years, 20 years. That's not relevant to what you're currently doing today. So really, you should only have relevant things on your resume. Work experience, again, right to the point. Some people just do 2 bullet points for their job summary for each position. Some people do 3 to 4. I do 3 to 4, just because there's so many different things where I can, it all depends, right? You want to put your education, your most recent education, any skills, any certifications, if it's applicable, any affiliations. If you're a member of the marketing association for the local, for Palm Beach County, hey, I'm a member of the Hub Palm Beach, like that type of stuff you want to put on there. I put that I'm a member of, the National HR Association, all the groups that I'm, not all, but like the ones that are, very, it's going to help you, because they're going to be like, okay, well, this person, not only do they work, but they're doing things to improve, to develop and grow, trying to find things for resources, right? companies now, they have, for example, they do a lot of volunteer things in the community. So maybe that's what's going to attract you to a company. Maybe your passion is to volunteer to do things in the community. So you maybe want to put that. A lot of people say that your resume is 2 pages as long as it's relevant, right? I would not use more than your. I would do like Roman or like Arial for the font, and like 11 to 12 font size. Don't on your. Do not put your photo of a professional picture on LinkedIn, and that's what you're gonna get to put on your employment application. Anything that's unrelated to your work, that will determine if you're gonna do a resume that's even up to 5. I've been doing HR for 8 years, so I just automatically, as I've been, the time has been passing, right? You start editing out. Exactly. Now, if it's something that's a little bit relevant, you might have like one little bullet point or something, right? People don't put any low GPAs. Really, that's not required. They don't have to know that. Hobbies. Do not place any hobbies unless it's something that is related to the company. So if I'm here, because that's the first thing that came to my mind, and I was a camp counselor like a year ago or 2, I'm going to put that on my resume. Why? Because they're going to be like, wow, she was a camp counselor. So that means that she has worked with kids, right? So I will put that as a hobby. Or if anything pertaining to marketing, hey, I like to do photography. Hey, I'm going to put that hobby on there. Because it's related to marketing. Maybe they're looking for someone, that takes pictures and what so forth. Or, hey, I like to play volleyball. I'm going to put volleyball if I'm applying for a job that has to do with like working in a team setting or like some kind of like sport organization or what so forth. Do you guys have any questions on what I went over so far? Make sense or? Okay.
So what's the difference? Okay, never mind.
No, you go ahead. No,
I'm going ahead of it.
No,
I haven't explained it yet. No,
history, do not put that on your resume. Go back to references. Your supervisor is not the only one that could be your reference, but sometimes people, they place their supervisors on the resume. Don't put that. It's not required. You don't have to have that.
So don't put I'm sorry.
No, do not put supervisor. Not on your resume. That goes on your application, your employment application, if you get to that point.
Okay.
Do not put, yes?
Does it matter what color of paper you use when you go to interviews and stuff?
What to print on your resume?
Yeah.
I use a light beige or like a light gray. That's what I usually do. Objective, and I am going to show you some resume samples. A lot of people use objective. Don't use it. You just need to come up with your personal brand. Your brand statement. I'm Mevo. This is a position, and this is my experience and what I bring. Just one sentence or maybe 2 sentences. Okay. The other thing is types of resumes, just briefly going over. There is chronological, functional, combination, targeted, and non-traditional. Now, the only thing that, what's going to determine the type of resume you use is really your personal brand. I don't know if you can see that might be a little bit small. This is my brand headline, right? And it goes right under my contact information. Human resource manager, understand the value of human capital to drive organizational growth, strong results, and performance. Make sense? Any questions?
The job is
Yeah.
stating like what you can bring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nowadays, honestly, we are in a workforce, and this is a lot what I've seen in the market. That statistic came from the Association of Human Resource Society. 2 to 3 years. Yes.
I don't know if this falls under that, like withdraw too much. Like, what would your feedback be on that as an HR?
So you're saying a lot within a few years? That happened just once.
Well, no, I mean, I know, like, maybe twice or three, people tend to change because they get either better pay or a better position, and sometimes it falls in less than a year, you know, and
Yeah, so as long as you have like a valid reason, we'll talk about this. I mean, and this is why it's important that when you're doing your job search, you're doing your homework, right? It's not just about, okay, I don't have a job, or I'm not happy, or I'm not getting this for amount.